Welcome to our last lesson in our Measures of Central Tendency introduction. This is lesson 5, and now we're going to try to put this all together using a table. The table below shows the lowest daily temperature in Anchorage, Alaska during a 5-day period. Use the table to answer questions number 1 through 4. So let's investigate the table. These are the lowest daily temperatures mentioned in Anchorage, Alaska. And it looks like they're going through from Monday to Friday. That's the day. And here's the temperature for each day. So the very first question is to find the median of the data. So we have to know what the median is. So if you need to at this time, you can flip back in your packet and see what the median is. The median is the middle number after we put it in order. And you probably notice that some of these numbers are negative numbers, so we're going to have to be very careful when we do that. In fact, when I look at this, it might look like I should start with negative 10 because that 10 is smaller than 18 and 16 on the positive side. However, on the negative side, the furthest away from 0, the smaller they are. So negative 18 is the smallest number. So we're going to put that in order. Say negative 18. Then the next number is negative 16, followed by negative 10. Then the next two numbers are positive, so 14 and 25. So the median is the middle number of data. And we talked about closing the curtain, where we take one from the left, one from the right, and cross them off. Two from the left, two from the right, and cross them off until we continue that until we get to the middle. And because there's only 5 data points, we have reached the middle. So the median is negative 10 for this set of data. Let's go on now. Next, using the same set of data, we're supposed to find the mode. And the mode is the number we see the most. And because we've already ordered it for the median, it's pretty easy to see that none of the numbers have been repeated. So when that happens, there is no mode. Next, we're asked to find the mean and ask you to show your work. So you notice that the mode didn't ask to show the work because we actually are just looking for the number we see the most, and we could do it without ordering, but it's always nice to have them put in order. That way you know you've accounted for all your data and you won't, more than likely won't miss something. So for the mean, you don't have to show me that you're adding all of the numbers, but I would like you to tell me what the sum is. So I need you to tell me what the total of all those numbers are. And then I need you to tell me what you're dividing by. And you're dividing by the number of data items. So use your calculator, please, and find the sum, the total. So the sum should be negative 5. And then we count the number of data items. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to divide by 5. And negative 5 divided by positive 5 is negative 1. Finally, we're going to look for the range. We're being asked to find the range. And again, you're asked to show your work. So we're going to find the highest number, which is 25. And again, when we put it in order, that really makes it easy to see that. So the highest number is 25. And here's where we have to be very, very careful. We're subtracting the lowest number. So I just wrote a subtraction sign, but the lowest number happens to be negative. So I'm going to be subtracting a negative 18. And if you do this without the calculator, I'd probably write it this way, and which reminds us in the past, if you remember using keep, change, change, or add a line, change the sign, we might do something like this. We might keep, change, change, which means we keep the 25, we change the minus to a plus, and we change the negative 18 to a positive 18. If we put it in the calculator exactly like we see it, 25 minus negative 18, the calculator will give us the correct answer. and that answer is 43. So again, our answer is 43. So the range between negative 18, the lowest number, all the way up to 25, a positive number, is 43 numbers. So I'd like you to try the next page on your own, and you can refer back to this video for the answers. All right, this data was regarding deposits and withdrawals in Shauna's account. And so there are 2 deposits and 3 withdrawals. So you might want to take time to remind yourself that the median is talking about the middle number after we put them in order. So the order is negative 61, negative 48, negative 36, 100, and 100. And when we find the exact middle, it is negative 36. The next one is mode. Again, the reminder is it's most. Mode and most kind of sound similar. And the number that we see the most, and when they're in order, easy to spot that, is 100. The mean is referring to the average. And so we find the sum, the total, and we divide it by the number of data items. So the sum of all the numbers was 55. And there are 5 data items, deposits and withdrawals all together. And once we divide, we get 11. And finally, the range is the difference between the highest and lowest number. And because we're working with positives and negatives, of course, positives are higher always, higher values than negatives. 100 is the highest number, and negative 61 is the lowest. However, we have to find the difference. So when we do that, we're going to get 161 numbers. There's a spread between negative 61. If you looked on a number line, it would take you 61 counts to get to 0, and then another 100 counts to get to 100 after past to 0. So it makes sense if you think about it on a number line that the range is 161. One very important fact about the range is it is not a measure of central tendency. It's useful and it helps us, but it's not a measure of central tendency. It's not talking about the center of the data. So I just want to make that clear. Thanks so much, and please continue the independent work.